Hello, world.
Hello, Martha. Thank you for being with us. Eric, you want to introduce our guest? Her name is Martha.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Brooke. So, I mean, you just know how to make things so awkward.
I try. I've learned from the best.
You need to be careful because you open your eyes real big. They got crazy eyes. I mean, this is not people don't notice that in our regular show because we're usually sitting far enough back.
We're really far back. Now I'm really and get really.
But when you got your face up in it, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, we're really excited to have Martha with us today. She is basically an expert at lending, specifically with SBA, Small Business Association, right? Is that right, Martha? Administration.
That's what I did. Yeah. Expert with SBA. I don't know if anybody will take that title because it's
I just gave it to you.
It's a 400-page standard operating procedure. I spent a lot of time in the SBA world. I will say that. So yeah. I don't know if I'll say expert, but I spent a lot of time in it. I still very much believe in the program and its mission for small businesses. Yes.
Well, that's excellent. And it's good timing too. Thank you for all your hard work for the many years that you did that, because now it's very applicable with all the things that are going on with the coronavirus and things like that. And a lot of the things that are being pushed out from our wonderful government that's trying to help small businesses and, and to continue to do the wonderful things that American entrepreneurs do since the dawn of our country. And so now here we are with a lot of things that are going on, but there is help, but the help that we're able to get, it still has a lot of, there's a lot of dynamics to it, right? It's complex, it's time consuming, it's new. And
it's new. Yeah. That's the big thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, where I start at is, for me, for Northwest Arkansas, my office is located, Startup Junkie Foundation, Startup Junkie Consultant. We're located on the square in beautiful downtown Fayetteville. And so for us, the explosion was March the 12th, because we were actually planning. I also run our Northwest Arkansas Kiva Hub, which is a fabulous loan program. It's a nonprofit loan program for disadvantaged persons, economically challenged people, funded by the Walton Family Foundation. And we were set to have this big Kiva lender party. So we were going to have a party to bring people in to teach them about the program. It was March 16th. And the morning of March 12th, we were trying to decide whether to have it or not. And I said, look, the U of A is a mile away. If they're still having classes, people are still living together, we're having our party. I'm going to follow the lead of the experts. 2 hours later, it comes across, class is canceled. And I just sat there and I said, this is bad. Mm-hmm. So in the 150-year history of the U of A, I only know them to have ever canceled classes for snow and ice and gas leaks. So we knew at that point. Then the next day, Mayor Jordan declared a state of emergency, and the ball started rolling. Yeah. And we began, then you've got to realize the newness. So March 17th, Mayor Jordan says, okay, you can have a restaurant, but you got to space the chairs apart and da-da-da. And then the 19th, he says, oh, sorry, governor says we're shutting all the restaurants down. Mm-hmm. And so then that became where we all went, oh no. Yeah. Oh no, we're looking at economic devastation. So because I used to be an SBA loan officer, Startup Junkie has some grants from the SBA. We work very closely with the SBA because of its mission to empower small businesses and veterans and women. Big focus of mine at Startup Junkie Foundation is empowering women-owned businesses. So I stepped in and said, okay, I'll try to help with this. But what I had to tell everybody was, disaster loans are not administered through the banks. Disaster loans are for disasters. So a tornado hits a town, the SBA comes in, they'll even set up a tent, and they help people get disaster loans, right? It's all directly through the SBA. So no matter if you were a seasoned SBA loan officer or not, you've never dealt with disaster loans. So we start out and we're like, okay, well, let's go look at the portal. Let's teach people how to apply for the economic injury disaster loans. Not houses, not buildings, not places, but so those are the EIDLs. They've always been in place. So we gear up and we start preparing people. From March 25th to March 31st, there were 3 different websites because the first website crashed. Mm-hmm. And so then they had to put up a placeholder website where people could just upload documents and mail them to Fort Worth. So then we would revamp and work with the SBA and do trainings on that. And so I was all prepared for Monday morning to do another webinar, and I get up and they had launched a new portal. What I tell people is every time they've changed it, it's gotten better. They really are trying to figure out a way. And every change they have made, every form change has been an improvement. The problem is when you're in panic mode and you already applied for a loan in the first portal and now that portal's gone, or you mailed your packet into Fort Worth and now you're supposed to go into the new portal, it was very stressful for the business owners trying to know if they were in the pipeline.
Right.
And so that was the biggest issue, is trying to help. And then when they came out with the new portal, they also came out with the $10,000 grant portion, which is very unknown to SBA. Grants, SBA loans, not grants. So then it was just trying to help. And so at some point, what we just began to tell people was, and then in the middle of all this, the United States government announces the CARES Act, which is a series of multiple, all brand new loans. One of which is the PPP, the payroll protection, to encourage businesses to keep staff or bring them back. That's an SBA loan. It's an SBA form, first new SBA loan form we've seen in probably 20 years. And you're going to go to the banks. Well, I can tell you when that was announced, I talked to a lot of loan officers who said, what's that? You know, they didn't know. They hadn't seen the application. Then that's supposed to be applied for April 3rd, and on April 1st, they released another new application.
Wow.
So the old 320, and the only way you could tell it was new was the bottom said 320 versus 420. That was a earth-shaking change for the SBA. SBA loans, one thing about SBA loans has always been you must be a U.S. citizen or you must have a green card to apply because it's government backed, right? Mm-hmm. The change in the application was they changed it to say, is your business located in the United States?
Wow.
Because they very quickly realized if the point is to keep people employed, I'm going to tell you what, there are a lot of people in the United States that own businesses that are not U.S. citizens, mm-hmm. and they don't have a green card, and they employ 15 and 20 people.
Right.
So are we gonna be an immigration service and tell those 15 people, sorry, your boss came here 30 years ago and didn't fill out the right paperwork, lose your job? No. The SBA stepped up and said, look, the point is to support small business in America, and we're not going to become an immigration service. So I was thrilled by that. So, you know, that's what I'm seeing is it's a lot of ebb and flow and change, but everything I'm seeing is they're trying to make it simpler. They're trying to make it faster. And we have got to show the same grace for our government officials that we show our neighbors.
Right.
Because I am telling you, I have gotten emails from SBA people, officials, high-ranking officials at 8:30 at night on a weekend.
Wow.
They are working. Mayor Jordan and Devin Howland with the city, they're working 7 days a week. I see these people. I know they are. So we really have got to have some grace in here as we all navigate this and figure out what is being thrust on us by Washington, D.C. And don't think that your officials are lazy or not smart. They're dealing with this snowball coming at them in the middle of August, just like the rest of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more like, to be more thankful and aware that, wow, look at what's been impressive is, and it's true American, right? To be able to respond so quickly and adapt so fast, and in such an unknown circumstance. And there's a lot of thanks that, I know that, speaking of government officials and all that, the communication from the government has been quite impressive to me, being that we're in the communication business. As fast as things are changing, as many unknowns that are out there, but being able to at least get out a message that there is help, that would subside a lot of that panic immediately, and it keeps people to say, okay, we do have the partnership, and then, the government there and all these programs that are coming out, and it is being expedited. It's being expedited so quickly and reacted to so quickly that there is these challenges like we're talking about where, a lot of the officials don't even know exactly what it is. It's constant changes, and it's getting better and better over time. But we're flying the plane, as we're building it kind of thing, which is, I think from an entrepreneurial standpoint, that's an awesome statement of progress in comparison to what we're typically used to from entrepreneur versus government, right? You know, I mean, but now you got governmental officials and the government themselves acting in and reacting in an entrepreneurial way to build the plane as you fly it.
And the fact that I'm watching national news shows, and they're interviewing this week on CBS Sunday Morning, it was a woman restaurant owner in New York City. It wasn't big corporate people.
Yeah.
Just, I keep saying to everyone, this focus, and all of us know, I mean, the reactions I get, I try on my social media, my attitude every day is, how can I go help a small business?
Right.
And so I was, at first going out and going to restaurants and going to places and encouraging people to go there. And then I got to think about my friends who've been laid off from their jobs, and they didn't have the money to eat out. So then I'm like, oh, I'm being tone deaf. I'm being, because I still have a job. So then I started thinking of here's things you can do to help small businesses and not spend money. But the point is, I'm doing that. People are responding to it. We are building a love for our small businesses and a respect that I'm not sure we really have ever had. We vocalized it, but now we're showing them that.
That's awesome.
And I think as a country, we're really seeing the importance of true small businesses. The mom and pop, or the mom and mom, or dad and dad, or whatever, we're seeing that part of our country has always been the base of our economy, but now we're really, and now the numbers are so big. I mean, I didn't know there's 27,000 restaurants in New York City. I knew there were over 600,000 in the country, but you got to think about that. In one city, there's 27,000 restaurants that got shut down. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy, man. And, I think too, Martha, one of the also kind of neat things that I've been recognizing with these times is the innovation of small business software companies too, right? And how quickly they've been able to react, and you kind of can see the dynamics of technology and then physical businesses and service-based businesses, where they finally kind of had that marriage, right? Where it's kind of been a little bit unknown or didn't make complete sense.
Yeah. But
one reality is that every restaurant in America now has, within about a 2-week period, has become aware, and most of them have activated, become omni-channel restaurants.
Exactly.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
boutiques too. My mother-in-law owns a clothing boutique, and she's been doing a crash course in selling online. So just so she can keep stuff moving.
And that's, one of the things I just had a call this morning with someone who has a small marketing company, and we were talking about that marketing company's marketing plan and when and how he should launch, to start talking to people about, okay, how do you relaunch your business of 7 years?
Yeah.
You've never done that. When do we start the marketing wave? When are we going to tell people we're coming back? And then I really encouraged him. I said, I know you're not a business consultant, that you're sending to me or having a conversation. What have you discovered in your business in the last 3 weeks that you didn't know? What customer channel? What efficiencies? What changes have you made that you go, oh, that's good, and I don't want that to go away when we reopen the front doors and get to have more than one pin at the checkout desk, okay? Yep. I want to keep these things. And so, like mine with my Kiva loan program, we're hoping to launch next week an expansion of it. And one of the things I do is encourage a lot of these restaurants to get a loan of some type to buy a delivery vehicle. If you weren't doing deliveries before, look at that list and be gathering that data. Are those your regular customers, or have you picked up a bunch of new ones? Have you ignored retired people? Have you ignored people who don't want to come park on Dixon Street or navigate uptown? Maybe you need to invest in that and amp it up.
Yep. That's the refreshing ability of an entrepreneur, right? And so the entrepreneur is the same. I mean, we're seeing, entrepreneur looks at the market demand and can see that and react to that, right? And then they have a financial risk associated to them following that supply against that demand. and really your consumers, I mean, they're still demanding, right? There's all kinds of things that are still demanded, but how can we react, and who can react really quickly and diligently and then ongoing? You know, even for a business like ours that's established in a in a digital software environment, and what we're doing, even our customers, it's like it's making us think better about what is this new priority with our subscribers, right? They used to have a priority that was maybe down here in the middle somewhere, but now all of a sudden that's shifted up to the top, and we need to be able to react to that. And you know, Brooke leads our marketing. We've been talking about that, like how are we listening? We have to kind of reopen our ears to our market and our targets in a business that's, you know, either thriving or staying the same or has to have a complete refresh. You got to listen to that target to be able to react to that appropriately. And that's a challenge, and that's a responsibility for all entrepreneurs to do that right now. You know, we just got to do it.
Well, and that's like with Startup Junkie, you know, I have people all the time say, oh, you work with startups. I'm like, well, actually about 70% of my clients are existing businesses. And, you know, Jeff started Startup Junkie Consulting back in 2011. The foundation, which is the nonprofit foundation that's primarily funded by the AEDC and the Walton Family Foundation, just started 4 years ago. But we don't want to change the name, because I tell small business owners, you need to think like a startup every day. And all these restaurants, they're going to reopen, all these clothing stores, these dentist offices, these doctors' offices, they're starting over. They're startup. I mean, they are startups. And, you know, that's what I've been trying. I work with, my whole team is almost all millennials. And then I have a millennial child who lives in Austin, the hotbed of entrepreneurship. And, you know, they keep asking me, and so as a parent, as a mother figure to these, I want them to be serious about what's happening, and I don't want to sugarcoat it. But I tell them, you know, yes, we survived 08 and 09. You're right. That was terrible. That was worse because we thought our entire economic system of our country was going to crash and the world, you know, was going to end. But this is a little worse. Because as I recall in 08 and 09, doctors and dentist offices, my hairdresser, were not shut down.
Right.
There were a lot of restaurants going out of business, a lot of clothing retailers going out of business, a lot of hotels, resorts suffering. But this is so across the board that we are seeing a national catastrophe that, just like the disease, just like COVID-19, doesn't look at your pocketbook.
That's right. That's right.
And there's going to be a lot of really wealthy people that are more economically devastated than lower incomes mom and pop stores.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, that will definitely happen. And it is, you know, starting to, you know, but I think that also too, it's like, it makes us, like, what we're going to learn from this from a macro level is how do we keep ourselves more secure in case this ever comes again? And so we know that through this particular circumstance, that being digitally available, being able to communicate, being able to facilitate, you know, any of the things, the services from doctors and dentists to physical delivery of things, that there is a digital component of communication and collaboration with your audience that basically you know that the priority to have that in place as a security measure for anything like this to happen again, you need to have that. And it's a very seriously taken strategy, you know, that will probably stay in the minds of folks for at least a couple of years, right? And so, but well, all that's going to do is it's going to, like, all the secure measures that we've always taken in place, that because of 08, because of 9/11, or because of whatever it's happened, we keep stacking up these security measures for businesses. This is another one that's going to be there, right? And so really, in fact, we're building a more secure and stabilized structure with entrepreneurship in our business community than we've ever had before.
Yeah, you know, I think, because I'm not at the bank anymore, but I know it's really interesting how 08 and 09 is actually benefiting the banks now because of all the new regulation that came out. Banks had to, you know, we have one of the most famous banking software companies based in Northwest Arkansas, Teslar. And those guys developed that Teslar system for the banks because They were under so much. Can you please close that? Because they're sorry.
It's all right.
Lawnmowers outside.
Bound to happen.
Yeah. This is what working from home is. So the banks had to figure out a way to meet all these, oh my gosh, new government regulations about loans. So all this software was developed. Well, now that helps them operate more efficiently. And they can, I mean, I'm thinking about what they're doing. They're sorting the loans, the SBA loans from the non-SBA, the loans that are delinquent, the loans that aren't, by categories, by people. They have all the access to all the information online like that. And the bankers are, I don't know if they are, but they're able to work from home. Mm-hmm. So the horror of 08 and 09 and what it caused in the banking industry, and everybody's complained about the regs, and I get that, and I know Dodd-Frank, and it's very, I used to do that world. It's overwhelming how much regulation there is. But it led to all this software to fix that problem that is now allowing them, if what happened right now happened back in 07, I don't know what the banks would be doing.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would be functioning.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love the reaction. I love the way that we as Americans and entrepreneurs, and now you got even the government, all the parties working together to bring forth just being better, right? Yeah. Just being better and being resilient as we always have been, and we'll make it through, and we'll actually thrive through it. And so it's going to make us stronger. I was thinking of a great idea. Somebody needs to come out with digital daycare, right? To where
online daycare. Hey, kids, no, stop.
digital daycare, Brooke. It's got the DD in it, right?
Oh my God.
Well, it better have a big old long arm to be grabbing babies before they fall off the couch, or it ain't gonna work.
Right?
There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way somebody can build a tool that takes the kid and has done all the research to keep them occupied, right? And to keep them and to help them grow while they're in that, right? So just let them.
And speaking of an arm coming out of the computer to pat the baby or take care of the baby, to me, that's the two biggest things. If we've seen the importance and the need for technology in every business, no matter how small. But I will tell you, the thing I've seen the most is the need for the human connection.
Absolutely.
I have had people call me, and we've gone through a whole conversation, and I have said on that day at that time, I don't know what to tell you, but I hear you, and I want to help you. And that became my mantra. I hear you, and I want to help you, but right now, I don't have an answer. And I will tell you, I can't even count how many people I have talked to, texted to, Facebook messages, LinkedIn messages. It's just been, no one has been upset by that answer.
Yep.
And people understand. And that translates so much to small business. If you show people that you care about their need, that you care about their problem, and you might not be the best at it or have the answer, but you want to help them, you want to serve them, just getting back on that focus is something that is a wind back I think we needed.
Yep.
Because of the technology. I think hopefully the joy to come from this, the only joy, and I believe my faith tells me there is joy from tragedy, and I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
But if we can learn how to take the technology and the human compassion and combine those, it's an incredible future for our business world.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds a lot like Skew Ninja plus White Spider or Robots plus Humans, Brooke. Yeah, good job, Martha.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's what you guys do. I mean,
yeah, we have about 8 minutes left. Because I know, it's going to kick us off in about 40 minutes. But I do want to talk about that crazy story you have going on in Tulsa. You said you had a crazy situation.
Yeah. So my husband's in the car business. Well, he was. We're not sure if he's still going to be in the car business. We got a small business. But yeah, so Tulsa, they enter this rule like everywhere that says no more than 10 people gather. But yet you also have essential businesses, and car dealerships were declared essential businesses. So there's this one auction in Tulsa, and I'm not going to name it. People can Google it if they want. And so all the auctions shut down. And then my husband gets a call from this auction saying, we're having our auction tomorrow. And he looks at me and I said, well, you're not going. Yeah. I know, but they're doing it. I'm like, how can they do that? Well, the idea is, what is a mayor's order? Is that a law? Does he send the police? Who knows? And so I love it that it's in Tulsa, which is the Wild West, right? So all these people go show up at this auction, and the police come and they shut it down. And
oh, wow.
yeah, and it's like, but I'm an essential business. Yeah, but you have more than 10 people. Well, you didn't tell me that. Well, who's the mayor? Is the mayor the boss? Is the mayor the not? And so Tulsa was just all in the car. All these, these are, high testosterone car guys. There's some car women, but it's mostly dudes.
Yeah.
They don't want to buy a car online. They want to kick the tires and lift the hood.
You got it, yeah.
So trying to take that technology, and then they shut him down, and then the man who owns it says he's sorry, he didn't know, and so it's just, so we were watching the news, waiting to see what's going to happen. Is there going to be a shootout at the car? The police going to surround the building, and so it's just trying to figure out, but these are people who are not technology. I mean, these are car guys, and they got to make a living, and so trying to buck the system, and then it's just crazy watching that. But one of the last things I want to make sure is that people are reaching out to resources. Your city mayor's offices, especially, I know the city of Fayetteville has a small business COVID website. Check it every day. Devin and Mayor Jordan and Chung Tan update that every day. The Arkansas Small Business and Technology Development Centers, asbtdc.org. There are 7 in the state. They got a big infusion of money from the SBA because they're already partially funded by them. You can go online. They got a grant from the Northwest Arkansas Council, the Family Foundation. They have attorneys, accountants, HR people. They are being trained daily on these loan applications. So what we do at Startup Junkie, our main goal, because we're a little staff, we're just now 4. Our director got a big new fancy wonderful job at Walmart and moved on in the middle of this. So we're very small staff. So our goal is to get people out to the resources. I talked to someone today who lives in Fayetteville that didn't even know what the ASBTDC was. I could not believe it, a business owner. Get online, get an appointment online. They will help guide you to resources to help you with the applications, or if you have HR questions. If you have a daycare, Northwest Arkansas Child Care Aware out of Rogers is the state resource to help daycares with starting daycares, running daycares. So reach out to these resources, ask people for help. Don't be scared to. Ask your loan officer for information. Ask other small business owners, who's helping you with this? Who's helping you with that? And then I've been really asking people, if you've gotten money from an EIDL loan, if you have closed on a PPP loan, anything you've done, let us know your experience, because we're trying to help people navigate that. And it's hard. Like I said, I just finished my application yesterday for our business, and I'm excited to do that because I'm learning the process. I'm able to share that information with people.
It's awesome.
That's exciting.
Martha,
thank you so much.
Martha, thank you so much for the information. Very grateful for all the support to the business community. A message for the entrepreneurs is that, you got to, just look at it as one of those extra challenges for you as an entrepreneur to see your dream come true, to take an active step into seeking out this assistance during this time so that you can continue to go forth on your dream and to satisfy that market demand. And, just keep at it. It's good stuff that we have such a great community to help us out. So thank you, Martha, so much for your time.
Yes,
Hope
thank you.
Back.